So you started in music, and you primarily started with music as far as creativity. And
Uh, yeah, I mean, I always loved to sing, and my mother tells the story of uh, I would unplug the cord of the vacuum cleaner, and I'd get in trouble because I was using it as a microphone, and that was like at age 3. So yeah, I always wanted to sing.
so it was destined to happen
Yes.
somehow. Because I read you were also working theater, like acting.
I do, I've done some acting and I enjoy it. I just never felt a passion to pursue that. But it seems in the last few years I've been asked to do some indie films. And in some of them I play myself, as a singer in a club or, something. And then in some I play a character. And then I have started doing some theater in San Francisco, primarily because I love dark and historical macabre history and things, but there's a troupe in San Francisco called Thrill Peddlers, and they recreate classic Grand Guignol theater, which is the old Parisian horror theater from the 1920s, late 1800s and through the 1920s, and I do a lot of work with them, which is really fun.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
You get to die these violent deaths on stage, and I think I've done everything from being, dissected with a scalpel to hypnotized by a mad scientist and jump off a balcony to my death, and I was killed in a violent train crash and come back from the dead, and all of these different plays, and it's really fun because you can let yourself be really scared on stage and scream, and it's kind of a catharsis just to do some of those plays. And a lot of times I'll do them and then we'll couple them up with a concert, which is actually happening next week. There's some plays. I'm doing 3 nights in San Francisco where we're doing the plays and then I come on and do a full concert.
Yeah, that is cool.
So I always laugh because the last play was the one where I had to jump off a balcony to my death. And then I get to come on and do a concert. It's just like how many people get to die this horrible death and then come on and sing for...
And most people don't want to die on stage. They hear that, they're like, But no, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing like letting out a blood-curdling scream in front of an audience. There's
just watching this.
Yeah.
Jump.
It's better than any kind of therapy that anyone could have.
That's true. And you said you've always been inspired to wanting to sing. But were there any particular singers that you looked up to?
I think it all started with, and it's funny because people were just asking me this recently, but I think what it really stemmed from is the music started first, where I just really loved the magic of music to sort of transport you into this other place. And as a little kid, I was very inspired by film noir and the old, Alfred Hitchcock movies with the Bernard Herrmann film scores. And it was when I realized that it was the music that really conjured the mood of what you were seeing. Right. And the power of, you'd see a shot of a guy sitting in a roadside diner, and that wasn't scary, but it was the music that made you feel scared, and I just thought that was magical. So I think I wanted to learn, how do you do that? Like, why are certain chords? Because I didn't know anything about the piano, and I'd never taken a lesson, but then I realized, certain notes and chords made you feel scared, and certain chords made you feel happy, and and why was that? Are we conditioned to that, or is it all mathematics, and kind of like colors? Certain colors make you feel calm, and it was very interesting to me. So I think that's how it started. Is I wanted to figure out how to create these moods, and then just started creating songs from that. But as far as singers that I looked up to, because that was your original question. It was always the male singers that I looked up to. And as a girl, just like, Robert Smith of The Cure, was such an influence because, that voice was not the perfect voice, and it would crack, and it would kind of be off pitch, but there was something about it that was so emotional and conjured such a feeling that it was Robert Smith, and it was people like David Bowie or Roxy Music, and that the vocals, David Sylvian in Japan, and then David Sylvian's things. That I just love those, really deep, sensual, but dark. There was something dark about it. Absolutely.
So, and what is about the dark side of the world that really?
I think I find the dark puzzling and mysterious, obviously, and I think that it takes some bravery to go there. Because, you're having to peel away the layers, and people tend to play it safe, and I don't feel that that's much of a stretch. Like just to write a happy song or write a song about what I'm doing today or something, that's not really much of a stretch. But then just to go beyond that and kind of delve under these layers and get into the darkness, or what really frightens us, or what really makes us feel pain. And that's universal. I think that I think that's why people relate to my songs so much, is we're all living in that, but I don't think that we identify with it every day, or people don't want to go there. People don't want to think about that, but I think there's like such an umbilical cord to that with people. So
they feel depressed. They want to get rid of it. They don't want to know what it is. They don't want to go into
or not even to acknowledge it. This all thing about, oh, have a nice day, or how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Like it's also meaningless, because nobody's fine. I mean, we all have things going on, and I think that's you want to.
Or that happiness becomes ignorance.
Yes. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "The enemy of the best is the good." Because it's like people get complacent, and it's like, oh, that's good, and then they don't go any deeper or strive to go any further, And I think.
I've always found pain to be a great motivator.
Yeah, and complacency is so bad, such an evil word. Yeah. All the best work is done through pain.
Yeah. Happy art.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the word passion derives from. A suffering. So I think that's what stirs up those emotions, definitely.
Right.